Kingdom. Like,
Are we live? We should be. Everything should be cushy. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clearly. Please let me know if there's any problems in that regards. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. First things first, as always, good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Hope you're all in good spirits. Hope you've all got your health. Hope you're all ready to attack the week aggressively and, achieve your goals, hopes, dreams, aspirations, all of those sort of things. You can't do any of that without health. So I hope everyone's got their health in all aspects of it, and also love to extend that to your loved ones. And yeah, man, I know, if you're a United fan, you're vexed about the performance, and if you're a Spurs fan and whatever, but fundamentally, there's very few things more importantly than life. But as long as you got, air in your lungs, you've got something that you can do about it. One love to everybody tuned in. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. As I said, hope everyone's in good spirits. So yeah, man, let me see what you lot are saying. Obviously, we're going to review the Premier League action, addressing the elephant in the room, which is Manchester United and their form and where they go from it, people. It's frozen, DG. I can't lie. I don't know why I'm frozen. Again, it seems like there's connectivity issues. One sec. Do we still have the same problems, guys? Do we still have the same problems? Man said you're frozen. Way better. Back again. Apologies, people, but I came out of StreamYard and I came right back in. So it's sad, but all your comments are gone, man. Like, it's a sheg. I have to go into the Twitch tab for that. So yeah, man. One love to everybody that I can see in the comments, man. I just have, you know what? We just read them out same way, man. Appreciate that, you lot, for letting me know. Don't know, man. BT's a cock block in itself. So yeah, man. Let me know if there's any troubles. But moving forward, you lot came in, keep your comments and whatnot coming. I can't even bring bare your comments on screen, man. P Mav is saying a man said under 12s Sunday league coach. Bro, can't see you now. DG is frozen. Anyways, appreciate all the comments. It's lovely to see the engagement level so early in the morning. Big up you lot. Again, you're all back. We're all good. So it looks like my laptop wanted to take Monday morning off as well, man. Again, I hope you're doing well and safe. One love to whoever got the voting thing going. Who's laughing at the voting poll, DG? Not a clue, man. But yeah, you lot keep doing what you need to do in that regards. As I was saying, we're going to speak about the Premier League. Hard to not speak about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United, and Liverpool absolutely blitzing them. I think, it's not a game where I think you need to waffle on about statistics and formations and everything that went right or wrong. Now, everything for Man United went wrong. Couldn't even mess up the clean sheet. When you think of Manchester United, the minimum is turning up. The minimum is fighting, integrity, all of those things Alex Ferguson installed. None of them were showed yesterday. To say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of his depth is an understatement. Considering what happened against Atalanta, considering what's been happening, didn't learn his lessons, still went with that midfield pivot. As we keep saying whenever we watch Man United, it became unstuck. When you've got a non-existent midfielder, error-prone, and a shoddy. Again, I think it's going to start freezing in that, but I hope you can all hear me. And a shoddy attack, you're always going to be in problems. You're never gonna have a good team. I know when Paul Pogba came on, I mean, that's probably the worst 15 minutes I've ever seen from Paul Pogba in any football he's played within the Premier League. Error leading to one of the goals and obviously sent off. Harry Maguire again, bro, disastrous what I'm seeing. Sure, disastrous. Lindelof looked out of his depth. I don't think Wan-Bissaka was as bad in comparison to some of his teammates, but he struggled. Felt sorry for De Gea. As I said, Fred, McTominay couldn't get near anybody in Liverpool's midfield. The strikers out the game. I felt sorry for Greenwood. Rashford's decision-making's toilet. I actually feel Ronaldo tried people. I think where Liverpool are concerned, I'm not gonna say Liverpool didn't respect United, didn't turn up and things. But to give credit to Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool were at their best. They took their foot off the gas in the second half. I did feel they could have conceded goals on another day as well, like Ronaldo showed before VAR. I just think they were better than Man United and stuff. And I feel considering that there was no Mane starting, and obviously they went with Keita and obviously Jota, he's showing that, people showed that he could rely on the squad. I think Canute, forgive me if I'm wrong. When last did he start for Liverpool in the Premier League? If that's his first start, to say you've kept a clean sheet against Cristiano Ronaldo, it can only get better. Where Liverpool are concerned, perfect. The only problem is probably that injury stuff, Liverpool never had to be at their best. And to be honest with you, it's between Liverpool. Well, for me, we will go to Liverpool City. I think they just have that edge on Chelsea. I think Chelsea's in that shout. I don't think enough is being made of City. I feel the propaganda is going to Liverpool, but what can you stop? Mohamed Salah, first player to away opponent to score a hat trick at Old Trafford. The midfield, Henderson bossed it, Keita bossed it. Keita, where he's even suspect, bossed it. Milner went on the field, bossed it. Trent Alexander-Arnold bossed it. They all won their individual battles. Alisson had fuck all to do, pardon my language. It's atrocious. United were outmatched, outclassed, outbeaten in all aspects of the word, people. And, it's looking brazy for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. How he comes back from this, I absolutely don't know. And I mean, United, again, there's no way around it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for what it's worth, I thought I was deluded. He said, I do believe in myself. I do believe I'm getting close to where I want with this club. And I mean, him and Nuno were saying that sort of fighting language. And when you look at it, Liverpool played twice as many accurate passes as Manchester United. United's defensive ranks for this season, people, sees them 18th for clean sheets, 20th for tackles, 20th for errors leading to goal. And all we heard was Luke Shaw's the best left back in the league and all of this. And you can't see any of it. He had to catch a stray. For Liverpool, it's been a big week. Blitzed Watford 5-0. 3-2 victory against Atletico. Wiped the floor with Manchester United 5-0, conceded 2 goals, scored 13. Again, Liverpool is scary. Klopp, scary. I mean, if Klopp wins the league again, for me, I think he walks. Man said Pogba was moving. Well, Pogba was moving like an agent yesterday. Pogba was trying to get the man sacked. Pogba was trying his best to get scapegoated. You know the ones there. Like Souness was probably licking his lips when he saw, Pogba, error to go. Yeah. We're eating today. Then he saw the red card. Yeah, it's all Pogba's fault. Let's blame him for global warming as well. Don't understand how there was no cover for Trent too. Rashford barely tracked back and their midfield marking was atrocious. Bro, you see the wickedest thing with me, yeah? I don't even want to focus on how poor United were because it's not going to give credit to Liverpool. Liverpool bopped them. 1-2s, Firmino moving mad. Salah didn't even look, not that he weren't on it. He looked like he was calm in that game. Like, I'll get a little 1 goal, little assist. He said, fuck it, let me stat pad and get some goals. It looked like Jota was going to have the day and things. Firmino balling today, yesterday. I think the wickedest thing were, Liverpool played lovely football, but they're just playing simple 1-2s. United simply aren't looking over their shoulder. Like the man, they are chasing shadows. Shaw is unaware. No one's talking. It looked like no one prepared. United's press was appalling. If you're not going to press with Ronaldo, other people need to press. When one man's pressing, it's alone. As I said, as long as that midfield pivot remains, United are going to have problems. Unbalanced midfield, error-prone defense, anonymous attack. Things you should never say about Man United. I felt sorry for Uncle Ferguson. He's looking at the Mazzers. Shout out to Uncle Kenny Dalglish. Couldn't stop laughing at things, and he's probably loving it. And the Liverpool fans were, they're singing about Paul Scholes and his toe shenanigans. They're singing about Ollie at the wheel. They're just moving mad. I think my nightbot is drunk because we've watched Man United versus Liverpool. But my next bit of content is at 11:30 today, folks. And what made it worse as well, Harry Maguire, like, obviously he came out after and said the right things, but when he said stuff, I think he said something like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm only here because I have to. Bro, you're Man United, you're Man United captain, If you man won at 1-5, you'd be the first. You'd be, headbutting man like you was headbutting man in Greece to get that interview first. So go and face the music because you were shoddy and you've been shoddy, Don't know where Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire's form has left them. Don't quite know what Lindelof and the defense was on. Midfield was absolutely appalling. They was absolutely tiring. And obviously, there's no way around it. Life continues. No one died. You have to get back on it. And I actually felt sorry for, if anyone, Lingard. Fans are shouting at him. Man, the man ain't even playing. Like, you can't even agenda him. At least Lowski, aka Sancho, is safe. But on a serious note, it was appalling. Like, it was a good watch along to do with you lot over on YouTube. But from a United perspective, to say it was piss poor would be doing it a compliment. It was, at games like that, everything's gone wrong. You lost your individual battles, lost the 1v1 battles. Tactically, I don't know what's going on. Mentality, it was a myth. Going into this week, United had a lot of question marks anyways. Going into the last two games, having got over the line against Atalanta, would have thought another thing. Liverpool are terrifying, bro. Liverpool are scary in all stretches of the word, my guy. Like I said, I don't even think they were at their best. I don't think they had to be their best. I think there's a lot of gears to go up. I think the Liverpool kit, man, he could have taken off that kit and they can run it again. It's not dirty. Liverpool are scary. They're doing scary things. They've got scary players. Them and City running away with the league. I don't think you can sleep on Chelsea. It's an absolute madness. And then how can we forget Cristiano Ronaldo losing his head, just kicking up Curtis Jones? I don't know why Curtis Jones ain't moving mad, but that was the most fight I saw anybody from Manchester United display. And again, anytime you say Manchester United without heart, boy, Rio Ferdinand and Gary Neville, they're still trying to save Oli, but you can't deny the undeniable, man. They got, Liverpool savaged them, put them in not even a blender. Like, there's no coming back from that. Man should get sacked for that, really and truly. As I said, United chasing shadows for the whole game, apart from when, Liverpool just seemed to not switch off, but took their foot off the gas, seemed to enjoy it in the second half, knew that the game was won. Again, the first 20 minutes was very exciting. Liverpool, if Bruno Fernandes scores his early opportunity, it might be a different game. But yeah, 2 goals in the first 20 minutes, 4 goals at half time, 5-0 end result. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen Spurs rip United by a similar scoreline. I've seen United take some heavy defeats. Defo post Alex Ferguson, but I don't want to be reactionary. That was probably the worst performance I've ever seen. And this is coming from an Arsenal fan that's seen my team get embarrassed all up and down the country for years and years and years. But if I look at some of my notes, people, don't understand the pivot. Again, there's no rationale Oli can say to tell me that, and I know he got sent off, but there's no rationale Oli could tell anybody that justifies Pogba not starting even in that pivot ahead of one of Fred or Trent or Trent or McTominay. It weren't quite the Van Dijk versus Ronaldo game build up to be. Canute had a good debut. United simply not following runners. Liverpool just simply passing and moving. It's simple stuff. Like I said, more fight displayed when Ronaldo's kicking Curtis Jones. Bruno missed that early strike. One Portuguese man missed, the other one made sure he didn't. United gave cheap balls away. It started very open and kind of end to end. Keita's in good form. He's got 3 goals and 2 in the Prem. It was a frantic opening 10 minutes, I felt. Shaw was terrible for the first 2 goals in particular, and Harry Maguire was snoozing. This is all my bullet points. Cheap and early goals, United conceding. United's disjointed attacking press, limited midfield, error-prone defense. Greenwood, I felt sorry for him. Again, I did feel in the first half, Liverpool were giving away possession and there was a lot of space. United couldn't do anything. Firmino, Brazilian magic is all I got to say, people. It was a fantastic game. And like I said, I thought I was going to wake up to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Be it, brother, trust me, we think the same. Great minds think alike. I therefore thought I was going to wake up today, my guy, and I thought he'd be sacked. As my man has said here, morning DG, how he's not sacked is baffling. Trust, I thought therefore at 11 p.m., I was going to see Ollie's been sacked. I thought in this morning I was going to go on The Athletic today and the title of this would have been Ollie's been sacked, but it's not. I have to imagine Sir Alex Ferguson, somehow Paul Pogba, Rashford feeds the kids, so Rashford's probably got elevated. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sure all of these individuals locked Ollie in a room and said, well, go on, what's going on? I would say Ollie needs a drink. He probably needs he needs several Ks, probably some White Lightning and some Ray and Neff, and he needs no mixer and that won't probably cure his headache because it's all mad where Man United are concerned. Terrible performance. Like I said, anytime you lose 5-0, you've been terrible in all aspects of the word. And like I said, Ollie's a dead man walking from a footballing point of view. You'd imagine that it doesn't look like he's going to get sacked right now. They gave him a new deal. It don't look like he's going to get sacked. There must be people turning on him, even his closest of allies, but he's still clearly got people retaining faith. I don't know if the thing where United is a thing where the minute they were, I won't say flying high, but they were doing all right at the start of the season. I don't know if the minute Ollie started looking shaky, people were putting the feelers out, whether that's the Conte, whoever, seeing what was going on. Equally, I don't know if in the background, people are drawing up short lists of managers. indirectly talking with their agents. If they're doing all of that, then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's days are truly numbered. If they're not doing that and they've just woke up today and said we need to do something about it, there's an issue. Now, I think that's what United should do. As someone who's not nothing to do with United, and I look at it, it looks like Ollie's still got quote unquote a bit of time. They're still, while turning on him, there is some individuals that might be retaining faith within the individual, and he will be allowed to keep his job. But everything's on a knife edge. I'm not gonna say Tottenham beating Tottenham means everything goes away, but if you beat Tottenham, that's some pressure off your back, really and truly. And for me, Ollie just didn't learn his lessons from the Atalanta game. United's games are a carbon copy, whether they're winning, losing, or drawing. You see the same things. Sometimes they might scumbag a victory and it's all forgotten about, or you get results that's needed like that. And I think it's sad how some United fans at the point where, bro, it's not even that they're happy to lose or definitely get battered against Liverpool, but it's a thing where if it brings man one step closer, just a tiny bit closer to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sacked, then people are saying that's a means to an end sort of thing. Which is brazy. Obviously, after this, people, we go live at 11:30. Please make sure you've hit the like button over there on YouTube. Open up another tab. One love to the 2 people who have done such already, folks. Let me slap the link in there. I'm still here, folks. Again, I'll give you a lot of spoiler. Just when my intro was playing, I turned off my fan because I think it's early in the morning and it's quite cold. And for those who don't know, I normally spend the morning doing my content or writing it up in my dressing gown. But I had to turn the fan on. It's getting kind of blitz, people. But sitting back in this space, people. Yeah, it was terrible in all aspects of the word for Manchester United. So again, there's nothing more man can say. I'd beg Alex Ferguson in as caretaker manager, bro. I can't lie, man. The man there need to leave Uncle Fergie alone, man. Leave him alone. Just let him manage. Like, get the Conte in or do what you need to do. But the next coach has to be really hands-on. Telling that midfield what you need to do, telling that defense what you need to do, really trying to rid themselves of it. Because a mistake made more than once is a choice. I'm not saying any United player is going out there purposely to fail, but I say it about my team. When you're making these same mistakes, because again, you look at United's goals they concede. They concede early goals, they concede cheap goals. If that isn't nipped in the bud and it's happening week in, week out, that's a choice. It doesn't mean you're purposely going out there. You're choosing not to fix this. You're choosing not to change your thinking behind it. You're choosing not to change your culture of that current 11/25's outlooks towards defending. United, like Arsenal, don't pride defending because you don't concede goals like that. If you do pride defending, I think I saw Trent Alexander-Arnold has the same amount of Premier League assists now as Paul Pogba as well. Do you agree, DG, with the narrative that Ronaldo is a problem pressing-wise? I wouldn't say so because he can press. I'd say the problem is signing players just thinking it's a Ronaldo thing, slapping a man on the pitch and thinking the job's done. Ronaldo can press, as you saw. What can't happen is, you need to think smartly about what you're doing. He is very fit. I don't like to do the age thing, but the man's legs aren't. It's not like a Greenwood and Rashford. They ain't got youthful exuberance where they can do it longer. So you need to pick wisely. He can press, but it's when you do it. Also, clearly they're telling Ronaldo not to press too tough, like what Juventus did and like what in Madrid when he turned into this next phase of Ronaldo. He needs to conserve his energy. So if you're going to have someone like that, the rest of the team needs to be spot on, and it's not. He probably is the worst presser in the league. So again, the other 10 individuals, what's going on? I would say they're signing players and not knowing what's going on. It's the typical thing with United. Signing Van der Beek, what's happening? Pogba needs new accessories, probably more additional accessories than what Apple bring out for their next edition phones and that. Sancho's coming, you have to apply Oli tax. So man are buying players, and on top of them needing to stand up to be counted, you're not understanding what you're trying to do with these guys, people. You're not, again, running for the running sake is never praised for me. But if United are not running, you need to get, when you're not running, the defensive stats are looking like that. I'm sure the pressing stats can't be positive. It's crazy. They need trainers. They need hands-on coaches. Someone that's got a philosophy. Oli ain't got that. I see the Cardiff job is up now because Mick McCarthy's been sacked. You man need to drive Oli there and probably leave Maguire with you. That entire coaching staff looks lost, though, scrolling on the iPad looking for answers. To be honest, I think it's them man managing and not Ollie still, so I might blame them. I can't lie. Great weekend for us, Chelsea fans. Spurs got packed, Man United got packed. As an Arsenal fan as well, I've just been abusing my friends. Like, no one's answering my calls, no one's doing nothing. Bro, Firmino was a baller. Man was just playing street ball, just ripping man yesterday. Firmino, bear man, the thing is, I don't want to be disrespectful to Liverpool, but it's genuinely like them man didn't take it seriously. They were taking it like it's Watford. And to be fair, I like that with Liverpool because they got a swagger and, I don't know who wins the league in it because I think I don't know, but it's like no one makes noise on City. I think everyone gives a lot of flowers to Liverpool. Can't say no. Mo Salah is there. They're playing well. Didn't even start Mane. Mane was killing me as soon as he come on the pitch, not trying to pass to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones not trying to pass to him. Liverpool are ridiculous. The only thing with Liverpool is how they rebuild the squad because everything is very much here for the present. Salah's 29, Mane's a similar age. They're not. I'm not saying they're past it, but they're present players. They're not going to be here for the future. Saying that, I think Salah can do it for a number of years. I wouldn't say his game is reliant on pace. It makes a massive difference. But yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards, man. So yeah, away from that and trying to focus on some other football, make sure you're following up the thing and all of that. We focused a lot on Man United there. All I will say with Mo Salah is I know 400 bags is a lot of money, and in a couple of years he might not do it, and there's a lot of factors to consider. But I mean, if there's anyone worth giving a deal and probably putting yourself in that financial issue, it has to be Mo Salah. And if Liverpool aren't going to do that, they need to make sure they're scouting the next talisman because Salah is everything. I mean, the to say he's a Premier League legend, it's understated, really and truly. I mean, he's the best player within the world at this moment in time with Benzema and Lewandowski and that. He's definitely the best player in the league. Like what? If you was to say the best player in the league at a time, it was probably unanimously agreed it's Kevin De Bruyne. And if Kevin starts playing well, it's him again. But, I don't think Kevin De Bruyne can chat to Salah at this moment in time. I think there's a massive gulf in class. Salah's got everything, plus the clutch moments. Like I said, Salah looked like he wasn't even, not that he weren't down for it yesterday, but he weren't trying to get a hat trick. You man gave it to him. So yeah, it is what it is. But where that's concerned, people, Manchester United nil, Liverpool 5, Man United nil. Tottenham Hotspur lost a goal to nil against West Ham. Leicester won 2-1 against Brentford. Telemann scored an absolute screamer, and James Maddison finally got off the score sheet. People that cancelled out as Zanka's equalised at the point. So yeah, and then obviously Leicester having won, we've got them on the weekend, which we'll review on Friday. Crystal Palace just can't get the rub of the green, really and truly. VAR denied them, and obviously a fantastic goal by Callum Wilson, acrobatic finish from Callum Wilson denied the Benteke opener, and Crystal Palace dropped points. And personally, for me, don't get it twisted. Big up Vieira. I think there's a blueprint, there's everything. But I said it now and I say it again. I think when you look past the sentiment and actually what's happening, people are gassing it. I can't lie, people are gassing it. They've got one win in like 7-8 games. They're dropping points. Staying in the league is still the priority, and they've started well, but we've got another 20 odd 30 games potentially left of the season, but 20 something, because I think we've played 8-9 games again. My maths is poor. So there's a lot of narratives to be spanned, but yeah, if you keep dropping points, there's an issue. Josh King moving absolutely mad. Everton took the lead, but ended up losing 5-2 against Watford. Josh King hat-trick against his former loan club. Emmanuel Dennis finding a way to score as well. Again, Watford were just moving mad. And the week before, there was a lot of question marks over Watford and what they're doing and how they're moving and whatnot. It looks like they got slapped 5 against Liverpool, and they thought, let's take our anger out. And I would like them to stay in the league because I like Watford. They're Arsenal's local people. Our training grounds are the same. Would like Ranieri to stay in the league. Leeds are in trouble. Low key, Leeds are in trouble. No one's talking about it. We got Leeds on Tuesday, but they're in trouble, people. They needed a late penalty from Rodrigo to snatch all points against Wolves. Again, Semedo wants to count himself, probably needs to slap himself in the head, people, really, because Semedo, he was a hero, and then he turned himself into a villain, really and truly. I mean, the Wolves player, Lee Shan, the South Korean international, he seems to have found his feet. Wolves player seems to have found his feet. For Leeds, they can't buy a win. Shout out to the young striker, Joe Gerhard, who came on. I think he won the pen. Well, got his first start. Sorry, he worked hard. He's a good player. He's been at Wigan before. Those of you who saw my youth videos and saw us talking about him, yeah, and to be fair, I'm kind of scared of him going into Arsenal's game on Tuesday, because these are the sort of man you play with. When your team's playing poor, you play man with a point to prove. And there's a couple of youngsters on the bench here and there for Leeds, man. You look at Somerville, who's been getting minutes. You look at Gerhard, who came on. Apologies, he didn't start. Cresswell's on the bench, Charlie Cresswell, and they've got Cody Demau as well, who I think, they signed in the summer. So they've got some quality players, but they need to win games. Southampton and Burnley drew 2-2 as well. Livramento, again, I had him on my FPL bench. Needs to bring him to Arsenal, probably returns to Chelsea some point. Maxwell Cornet brace, including a good volley. Borgia scored a good goal, but he should have had an assist. I don't know how Redmond has missed a tap in, and he seems to do that all the time. Brighton lost 4-1 against Manchester City. Manchester City, Chelsea, and Liverpool all laughing, especially where you're Liverpool. Obviously, as well, I know the sentiment is focused on how poor Chelsea are. I mean, how poor Man United are. But going into this week, if you're Chelsea and you're Man City, you're looking at Liverpool to maybe quote unquote drop points, and they didn't. So it's big credentials for Liverpool, and it's obviously good from both of the other teams because they knew they had to be ruthless. Like, I actually feel it's a weird Premier League week. Fantastic in terms of the goals and the qualities and things, but I just feel Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, they were handed these goals, and it's testament to their team. If you give them a chance, they will take it. But I don't think they will had to be at their best. I think they've all smacked these teams up, and none of them have had to be at their best. I've seen these teams work harder in the occasional times they drop points, and it's testament to when these teams up it, they're different. And maybe I'm going a bit too far, but is it a top three now? And then it's whatever. Like, is it top three with sentiment can change, but Chelsea, City, obviously Liverpool. Fourth was United's, and it still could be United's mathematically, but they seem to have made it an open. Someone can grab that like Royal Rumble lucky dip thing, and it is what it is. But I just think when you look at the table, there isn't too much separating things. I think you've got the top three running away with things. I think from fourth to mid-table, there isn't much. And I think from 14th to the relegation zone, there isn't much. So points, everything, there's a lot of fluctuation and things chopping and changing. Phil Foden had a great game. He didn't he? Obviously, I think they handed him that own goal, really. I mean, that goal. I think what happened to strikers finished, but who cares? The star boy stood up to be counted. Smith Rowe, Foden, Mason Mount, all doing well for their clubs respectively. And just some notes on the City game, Gundogan and Foden was good. Gab Jesus, again, does some fantastic skills and fantastic trickery. He needs to learn to start scoring goals. Brighton ultimately lost because of individual mistakes, in my opinion. Sanchez was bugging out. Coriella bugged out. Lewis Dunk bugged out for at least 2 of the goals. Shambolic, the way they got hit on the counter. The way City were moving it from front to back. I did feel second half Brighton, you saw the real Brighton that's been there this season. But yeah, I think Grealish was a bit meaty. I think Bernardo Silva had a solid game. And yeah, man, I think the Brighton subs injected something. Obviously, Lamptey burnt Grealish alive with some trickery. Their strikers won the foul. Their strikers won the penalty, and obviously McAllister has finished it. And at least they've messed up the clean sheet for Manchester City. But excluding that, you can't say there's too much more to say, people. It was a quality game to watch, really. Brighton will count themselves unlucky. Unusually, they were quite poor defensively, in my humble opinion. What other notes have I got? My notes on Chelsea. Again, Chelsea ran riot. They won 7-0. What more can you say? They're playing the bottom. They're playing the bottom table and bottom of the table, and they showed it. Again, if Chelsea are going to fight Liverpool and City for the title, I don't think they'll outscore them. But if it does come down to goal difference, they need to make sure they're scoring goals. So for a team that's been struggling to score goals generally by their standards, to blitz them 7-0, I don't think Havertz took his opportunity. I think, Loftus-Cheek looked good off the bench and got a good assist. It's a Mason Mount hat-trick. What can you say? There's been a lot of question marks over his goal scoring. Like, I don't know if it's true, but when I was doing my watch along, one of you lot said he hasn't scored in 25 games. So that's a bit mad still. And he got a hat-trick, really. Callum Hudson-Odoi had a very good game. Kovacic running the show. Cobham boys running riot, in Callum Hudson-Odoi, Reece James and Mount. Fantastic for Chelsea to have academy graduates doing that. I don't think anybody's given enough clout to Reece James's finish. That was a fantastic chip, if I'm honest with you. Obviously Norwich showed why they're going down. Can't see what they're on. No, it just seemed to be very naive. Task made harder by the red card as well. I felt sorry for Tim Krul. He looked like the only player that seemed to be about it and doing a thing really and truly, but they're showing why they're going down. In our current state, we should be worried about every game. That just shows that Norwich doesn't have any ambitions by keeping Falco in the job. Top 4 coming back, Spurs in the mud again, Arsenal in the mud, Leicester are not serious. Bunner top 6, Big 6 return of top 4. Hear that? Man United is not worthy of top 4 right now. They have to earn it. Everyone needs to earn it. And man said fourth is West Ham's thing. It's looking like it. Credit to David Moyes. I would like them to do it if we can't, which we can't. Didn't know winning the Cat Yarabal gets you into the Conference League, something Arsenal needs to take seriously. Top 4 is still a shout. We have to capitalize now. But again, Arsenal, it doesn't matter because at some point, as you said, you need to capitalize. Now, yeah, when you sit there and you beat Aston Villa, fair play. But what if this United result or whatever happened 2 weeks ago? Suddenly, it makes it key. You know, if you why didn't you turn up against Brighton? Why didn't you turn up against Palace? Yeah, we beat Villa, but if ifs and buts are not a thing. But if you got 6 points, you put yourselves in a good position, and we're gonna drop more points in similar fashion, and other people are gonna do the same. It's just like last season. I said it then, and I say it now. You had to try really hard not to get top 4 last season because everybody was flunking it. Really, you know, man said Kevin De Bruyne's best days are behind him. Oof, oof. I never really liked to doubt of quality players, but yeah, man. Pep explained how pressing needs to be done collectively and in particular situations. Can't see Ole coaching anything to that extent, bro. I swear I saw Cavani trying to tell Ole how they should play. Bro, Ronaldo's going to manage the team soon, man. De Gea coming out and saying they played like kids says it. Oh, and I mean, what can he say? They played like babies, man. I'm sure kids would have showed more heart, really and truly. It's being too kind. I think it's one of them where if I was a United player, it's easy for me to say, but don't come out and say nothing. There's no need to come out and say they're sorry and all of those sort of things. But if United get a serious manager, they're back in top 4. But at the same time, you know, these players have a lot of bad habits. You know, they can bring in a magic man, but they're gonna need to get to work and get to work quickly. If I'm honest with you, interesting comments, people, keep them coming. Leeds are gonna be a tough one for us tomorrow. Slightly worried, so am I, because sometimes when you're doing poor in the league, the cup can be somewhere where you know it provides some good times and things like that. If I'm honest with you. So yeah, man, Chelsea ran riot. You know, hat trick from Mason Mount. I told you, look, Mount's a good player. You know, it's nice for him to get a little bit of haters off his back. The critics will say you've done it against the bottom team, but Premier League is Premier League, really and truly. So yeah, man. I wonder how far Livramento is from getting the England call up. If I'm honest with you, probably a long way away because you know you got Trent, you got Reece James. You know what? I would love to see which one Chelsea sign back as well, because surely you can't sign Lamptey and Livramento and have Reece James. There actually is a reality where they could play there because Reece James could play in a couple of roles. But yeah, man, and I mean Chelsea, everyone's everywhere in the league. You got Declan Rice, you know, you got Borgia there, you know, you've got everywhere. Chuck Gallagher's there. You got all heap of players. Billy Gilmore, who couldn't play this week, but hasn't been doing the best, hasn't had the best of time at Norwich. Obviously, my week is always great when United lose. It's always better when Spurs lose as well. West Ham did what they needed to do. I felt West Ham should have scored more. I don't think they created much quality chances and didn't necessarily take the opportunities they had. Other than that, I think the difference in from the start to finish by West Ham and Spurs was different. You know, West Ham looked like a team that was ultimately galvanized, looked like they wanted to win, looked like the coach has been working on something in the training ground. For Spurs, Emerson Royal, terrible. I think Skip was one of their best players, and he's trying to get on the end of crosses, which tells you it all. Højbjerg, not good enough. You know, Mora, not quite there. Son, not there. Kane, that marking on Antonio for the goal. I don't know if it's zonal marking, then I'll give Kane the luxury. But it looks like man marking, and Kane's done very poor on Antonio. He's not even trying. He's caught flat-footed. And I would say for Nuno, I'm no football manager, but you always told strikers should never mark strikers. So if that is man marking, you saw why. It just doesn't look like how Spurs now they're scoring goals. The lack of creativity is going to kill Nuno at Spurs. For him to come out and say they were the better team, he's smoking moon rocks. You know, again, Spurs are not looking. They don't even break with the same intensity. Again, it's just a shambles where Spurs are concerned. But West Ham, they did their thing, man. Bowen was at it. It's fantastic cross from Cresswell, who looked like he was making things happen all game. So it was it's one of them ones, really. You know, there's just a serious golfing class. It's absolute mazzers, really, where everything's concerned. Absolute mazzers. But boy, like what more are you gonna say, eh? There's actually absolutely sometimes there's nothing you can say. If you watch the game, you saw it, people. If you watched any of the Premier League football this week, you lot saw it. So yeah, am I missing anything else out where the Premier League is concerned? I don't think I am, people. So once again, Leicester 2, Brentford 1, West Ham 1, Tottenham 0, United 0, Liverpool 5, Chelsea 7, Norwich 0, 1-1 between Palace and Newcastle, Wolves and Leeds drew 1-1, Southampton and Burnley drew 2-2, Watford came from behind to win 5-2 against Everton, Manchester City 4, Brighton 1, folks. And obviously Arsenal beat Aston Villa, where I've done my reviews and whatnot, so I won't go over the game again. Now, for me, the one thing I would say is, we've played another team that's not in good form. It'd be different if Villa were flying as high. I can't keep talking about the other opposition because, like when we played Spurs, we're not accountable for that, people. But I just think, Palace have been getting plaudits. Brentford, Brighton were, and Brentford came up buzzing, and these sort of tests we haven't done it. We've struck in against a poor Spurs team where, credit where due, we did our thing really and truly, where form was out the window prior to a North London derby. We did what we needed to do against Villa. Again, team didn't test us defensively, and when they did, and Lacazette came off and we stopped marking Douglas Luiz, we conceded a cheap goal. Cheap goals are going to be Arsenal's theme, and yeah, it is what it is. But by Arsenal standards, that's probably our second best, if not the best game we've played this season, give or take a game with the same scoreline against Spurs. We attacked with intent. The 4-4-2 worked, and the partnerships that was a byproduct of such. For me, Smith Rowe and Tavares down the left, obviously the two midfielders in Lokonga and Partey done well. Partey obviously grabbed the goal. Ben White charging out from the back. Gabriel pocketing Watkins and Danny Ings. Ramsdale bellowing instructions. Tomiyasu trying to get forward. Tavares taking his opportunity. Lacazette working very hard. Probably the man of the match for me. Smith Rowe got a goal and obviously did his thing. So you can't probably not allow him, but not deny him. But man to a man, everybody did well. Obviously a bit of fortune with that pen and when it came and things like that. Lovely dark hearts from Laka. We did what we needed to do. I would have loved to have kept a clean sheet. We did what we needed to do, and it was one of the rare games where I'd say, by Arsenal standards, everything seemed to work perfectly. But the problem is, I don't know what Arsenal is going to turn up against Leeds in the Cup. I don't know what Arsenal is going to play Leicester. And this is the thing. If you go on the previous two games, Arsenal, it was all doom and gloom. Now it's all amazing. You need to keep balance. Arsenal's season is going to be this, in my opinion. This is why I don't think we're getting Europe and them things there, because we're still not managing the game well. For me, we're still trying to, we either try to fling forward for 90 minutes, or we're quite passive. We don't understand when we're getting tired, when to kind of stop this. I did think, Lacazette and Aubameyang does unbalance the team on occasions, but in this game it works, man. So I can't really say anything really and truly. As I said, please make sure you're all there at 11:30, folks. Again, make sure you're setting your reminders and whatnot. If you can't be there, then just do what you can for the engagement by hitting the YouTube like button, people. I'll drop the link in there again. It's all mad. What else are you lot saying, folks? Absolutely brazen. And just so we're keeping up to task with things, should we actually make sure we're doing these timestamps? Where is the timestamps? Sorry, folks. I'm just caring about those of you who are going to be watching this on another occasion. Let's say 10 minutes to 49. Rob, where have we been waffling for time about these things? Well, man, Tavares did his thing, but he weren't asked any questions. That's why he's calm. We got panned blood and it was expected. Blind leading the blind. It's a hot mess. Facts. Nuno is as clueless as Oli from what I saw on the pitch and in interviews. I'd agree. Livramento much more likely than Lamptey. I would say that as well. Yeah, you've got to put a Norwich tax. They were bottom, but banter aside, they slaughtered them and they're in it. So what can you say, people? I hope you all saw the other football where it's concerned, where Europe is concerned, folks. Again, El Clasico, Real Madrid won 2-1. I believe Alaba and I can't remember who scored. Alaba and someone else scored. I can actually check that for you. But yeah, better result than I thought from Barcelona. I thought Real Madrid was gonna wipe the floor with them. And they kind of did in aspects. It was a good counter-attacking move, which led to Alaba's goal. There was 2 goals in the last 90 minutes, people. In the last bits of added on time, sorry, from Vasquez. Like I thought Vasquez scored. So, yeah, Vasquez and Alaba and Aguero scored. You know, Barcelona were poor in it. They were outclassed, out-dominated, outmatched. You know, Real Madrid had 10 shots, 5 on target. You know, Barca had more possession, but they only had 2 shots on target, and Des missed a simple one-on-one. The ability is not there. The young players are not guided by the necessary quality. You know, you've got the blind leading the blind in that regards where Ronald Koeman is concerned. I'm not gonna lie, I almost feel sorry for Ronald Koeman, not because of the critics, you get it, but you know, this is a man that won them their first European title as a player. I'm sure I could be wrong. And just from a human point of view, you look at this video, people, you know, this is Ronald Koeman driving yard. And again, you know, football can become quite unsafe. Surely there's a duty of care by Barcelona and, well, just Barcelona to like. How is he's a human being, isn't it? Like you're leading man to a Mazzolini out there, really. Like that's all mad. Like that's all mad. Really almost as big a problem as the French football fans, really. I know I watch PSG versus Marseille. Fans are stopping counter-attacks and that. Every week there seems to be a madness where French fans are concerned in Liga. Shout out to Saliba for them vital tackles and all those things. I think people are slightly over sensationalizing the performance of Saliba against PSG. But at the end of the day, if you keep a clean sheet against, you know, Neymar, Messi, and these things, then and Mbappe, and make that good tackle, then it's fair play. But it was poor where Barca is concerned. I think Jose Mourinho and Spalletti were sent off in the 0-0 draw, sorry, where Roma and Napoli are concerned. So that's El Clasico. That's that. You know, Juventus, courtesy of a penalty via Dybala, you know, they drew against Inter Milan as well. Not sure on. I think Van Bommel was sacked by Wolfsburg. Not sure on why or the result. I just saw that, and it counts in terms of Europe. In terms of the other action, you know, Ajax won 5-0 against PSV, so they did what they did against Dortmund to them and there. Roma and Napoli 0-0, as I said. I didn't watch it, but Atletico and Sociedad was 2-2. I'm going to watch the highlights. I'm pretty sure Luis Suarez got a brace or did some sort of madness. So it was all popping off this week in football. It's very much a good day for football where football is concerned, people. So that's my 2 pence on European football. A lot. David Beckham has been catching a lot of heat as well, folks. Obviously, he's been unveiled as some sort of advisor in relation to Qatar and whatnot. And obviously, he works with UNICEF, and there's talks of human rights issues around Dubai and things. It's a bit like a conflict of interest, and he's seen for what he probably is. Like a lot of these celebs, they're just in it for the money and their brand, really and truly. In which David Beckham is, but I won't read the article, but he's getting a lot of heat. As you lot can see, why has David Beckham turned a blind eye to racism, misogyny, and homophobia in Qatar? But it could be his secret 10 million deal to plug its World Cup. So again, he's expected to be paid in excess of 10 million to create the promo. I saw another article say he's getting about 100. So again, money is king. Man are not going to turn down money. And for David, who claims to be the Messiah when it comes to feeding the kids, he's always at the soccer raids and things. It is a direct conflict of interest. But what I would say in David Beckham's defense, it's no different from the people condemning him. You know, I'm not saying it's the same thing. It's completely different. But if we're going to go down the ethics route, then I don't think any of us has any right to complain at anyone if we're using iPhones and all of these things in the countries that are quite frankly ransacked for these sort of things in relation to colonization and things like that. If we're going to do the moral police, it comes down to the damn way we're all eating and all those sort of things. So David Beckham has caught some heat for that, and it's well deserved, really. But I'd say everybody's a bloody hypocrite. Everyone wants to be Mother Teresa, in it, really. So that's that. Is there any transfer news? We might as well look at transfer bits and pieces as well, folks. See what the transfer columns them are saying. Where is my article of that? Let me share my screen. Let's actually refresh goal.com. Apparently, Rudiger in talks with Man City, Tottenham, and Juventus. Raw. And now apparently Salah wants 500k a week at Liverpool. Rudiger's in talks with Man City, Tottenham, and Juventus. And I think, you know, I'd be looking to go Juventus. I wouldn't say no at all to Man City. Tottenham, I don't know. Maybe he wants to stay in London. Maybe there's a fat sell-on clause there as well. Apparently a number of clubs are tracking Ange Star and Gilo Fugini. Decent 25-year-old, to be fair with you. Pep Guardiola's eyeing Zakaria on a free transfer, who Roma also want. Apparently, Salah now wants 500k a week. So again, that's probably a bit unrealistic for Liverpool and not advisable. You know, to be honest with you, they could probably afford to. I know they don't want to, but they could run Mo Salah's contract down. Really, apparently, there's interest from Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid gonna have money to get Mbappe on a free transfer with that signing on fee. Bring in Salah, get Pogba on a free transfer. Commit, and do all the other things they're doing with still Hazard and these players on the books. I don't know, people. But apparently, Salah, we've seen Salah's article where he said he wants to stay. It's down to the club. So it is what it is. It's down to them to make something happen. Everton and West Ham are eyeing Inter Milan's Ivan Perisic, 32-year-old. Apparently, Marcelo has told Real Madrid he's leaving at the end of the season. He's planning to return to Brazil with Fluminense. He's had a great career, really and truly, so he can leave with his head held high. Apparently, Jose Mourinho wants to bring Dani Ceballos to Roma. Boy, probably get him on loan, and that probably means no Xhaka. We've spoken about Rudiger. Apparently, he's in talks with those clubs. Trevor Chalobah's on the verge of signing a new deal for Chelsea. Isco is a target of Everton and Leicester. Barcelona apparently have decided to sell Sergio Dest. Where I think that's a bit harsh, but I don't think he's levels. I don't think he's good really like that. I think he's just calm, steady Eddie, but things can change. Really, let me see what's going on. Apparently, David Moyes has warned that any club would have to pay over 100 million to stand any chance of signing Declan Rice. Don't get twisted. Declan Rice is an amazing footballer, but I mean, come on now. If we're in that territory, we're moving a bit mad, really. What's he doing for 100 mil? He's definitely a different player for West Ham, I feel, than he is for England, but 100 million. I know football, and it's not just him. A couple people have gone for big sums and not been worth it. So it is what it is, and he's got the English premium and that. But 100 mil, man, are moving mad. Apparently, and Ndombele says a crisis meeting with Daniel Levy saved his Tottenham career. Let me see what that article is saying, people. He said he's a fighter. Still not justified the 65 million price tag. He said, if a chairman is seeing something that he's not happy with, it's normal that he wants to speak to the player about it. It was a good meeting. I listened to what he had to say and he listened to me. Yeah, perhaps if I'm still at Tottenham today, it's thanks to that meeting. He also says that Musa Sissoko helped him as well. He said, I'm a fighter. I've always thought I'm here today because I thought, are you a fighter? Or if you just didn't get the move? He said, I've never given up in football or in life. He said, I'm not sure if it was my best performance against Newcastle, but it's true that it was a good match for me against Newcastle and a good match for the team. Apparently, he said, I'm happy for people to tell the truth like that about me. That type of management, I'm fine. He spoke about Jose Mourinho. He said Jose Mourinho's a bit harder than Nuno Espirito Santo. I don't care that much to read it for you guys, people. So it is what it is. What else is going on? Frank Kessié, apparently AC Milan have opened contractual talks. Bit concerning for Paul Pogba and well, not concerning for Paul Pogba, Mino Rinola, or anybody really. But apparently, when you look at it, Madrid alert with Pogba. Apparently, talks will be had over his contract in April. Now, that's a bit scary if you're a United fan. If Real Madrid want Paul Pogba, Man United will not get in the way. The English club is making moves to prevent the Frenchman from leaving for free in June. The option to sign him that the White Club contemplates, as reported by AS on the 13th. Real Madrid have activated their interest. This is clearly Google Translate, folks. Apparently, it will not be easy. Firstly, because the feedback United has received from Mino Rainola's agent is that it will not be until April that they will discuss the future of the international. And considering it's a World Cup year, the age Pogba's at, who Pogba is, and how United, still have to go through January and things, it's quite scary, people. Apparently, obviously now, at the start of, the season, Pogba probably was going to stay. Everything's working, but he's been dropped in the last 2 games. I don't know if it's to do with that or his comments about not necessarily Ole, but needing to do better when they lost to Leicester. But apparently, Pogba begins to feel uncomfortable. Pogba is a problem because his coach does not trust him. Apparently, it's a role that does, his role that Pogba is playing doesn't convince him. So, yeah, there'll be a fight to hold on to Pogba where Man United are concerned, folks, if you believe the daily transfer columns. So it is where that's concerned. Apparently, Newcastle want to bring Ten Hag in as their manager. You're seeing what he's doing at Ajax. Surely I know the money you might be able to get to spend at Newcastle and the law would be good, but surely you've got something good there at Ajax at this moment in time. Surely you'd want to see it through to the end of the season. And I know they want to bring in Overmars technical director and Ten Hag, that would be a step in the right direction, people. That's almost bringing in people, the right people off the field is almost important as signing these star players on it. So it's an interesting one that they're going to have to consider, folks. A very, very interesting one. What should we call that? Rudiger. It's off United contract talks. What else have we got? Madrid want to sign Salah. Rudiger in City/Juventus talks. So that will make up the transfer stuff. As I said, make sure you're here at 11:30, folks. What else are you saying? Stay up to date with DG, and when he goes live, make sure you follow him on Twitch. DG, have you seen the Saliba tackle against Mbappe? Yeah, everyone and their nan's wanking over it, man. Isaac got 2 goals, a goal and assist. To be honest, Barca fans moving like us after Chelsea defeat. To be fair with you, I'm not gonna lie. Them Madrid and Barca fans, they move mad. They don't really tolerate it. Jose is trying to get the Newcastle job. About 6 managers got sent off in Italy on the weekend. Must be something in the water, man. Vinicius Jr., he's coming to the frame, man. You're right. You know, Minguesa got pumped. You're right. But to be fair, this is where you look at Ronald Koeman, the Dynamo Kiev game. He looked like someone tactically don't know what he's doing, playing destined that for a further role. You know, Minguesa is going to struggle. He's a centre back, probably putting in the shift at right back. You know, he's going to struggle. So you're setting up your team for failures, man. Just join, big up DG, just join the stream. What's going on? It's calm, bro. I mean, we spoke about the Premier League. We've touched on what's going on in Europe. We've touched on David Beckham. We've closed up with some transfer stuff and whatnot. It's always a pleasure being here. Imagine the scenes: Overmars, Ten Hag, Anthony, Gravenberch, all to Newcastle, bro. That could be a mazza, really and truly, and that's something to put in the timestamps. Ten Hag to Newcastle / Overmars. No, big up the YouTube gang who's gonna watch this. Haven't really watched PSG in the league, but they seem to struggle with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Is it the way Poch sets up? I think it's the way Poch is managing. Full stop. Like, they're not creating chances. Every game is a slugfest. Agent talk about Rudiger. Surely agent pushing the names of clubs, probably for a bigger offer from Chelsea. But I think there is legit interest from Juventus, and I think Bayern Munich were onto him. I think he's thrown in City. But you're right, man. It wouldn't, any good agent should be doing that, man. Rice is supposed to be cheap. Facts, fam. It's a mazza, man. It's a mazza, really, like, when you deep it, man. It's been a good week of football, and it's due to be an even better week of football to come as well, man. Really. Pardon me. What else is going on where football's concerned? Let me go on a couple other 1-2 websites. Normally in the morning, my first port of call for you guys is The Athletic, man. Where is it? And it's almost, I completely forgot Sal was a Chelsea player. I've just seen him come up on screen. Apparently, for what it's worth, Barcelona have condemned the violent and disdainful scenes that head coach Ronald Koeman faced following the defeat on Sunday afternoon. Obviously, we just looked at the video where madness was happening. Apparently, FC Barcelona publicly condemns the violence and disdainful acts that our manager experienced when leaving the Camp Nou. The club will take security and disciplinary measures so that unfortunate events do not happen again. And I mean, nobody could read the room. No one that does this sort of stuff would have thought something would happen. I'm sure it's not the first or the last time that some fans have done that sort of stuff, people. So it's a bit mad, and I don't know how Ronald Koeman comes back from this anyways. And I have to blame Barca because the man's not cut up the task. Just let him go, man. And as I said, David Beckham has been urged to focus on human rights abuses in his Qatar ambassador role, people. As you lot know, early on Sunday, it was reported that Beckham had agreed to become an ambassador for Qatar. That will see him be the face of next year's World Cup, and that will probably help a lot of investment within that country, people. So again, it doesn't matter because none of it is salary first, conscience later, where that's concerned. Apparently, Newcastle have backtracked. Apologies, people. Newcastle backtrack on request for fans to avoid cultural inspired clothing. Apparently, Newcastle have released a statement which clarifies that fans are allowed to wear culturally inspired clothing at their football matches. And I think, obviously, I can't, I think we're getting into we are in a very dangerous game of society where racism and things are concerned and what is racist and what's not. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but yeah, it is what it is where that is concerned, folks. So yeah, not too much affecting the world of football, man. Really. So on that note, I'm gonna close up, people. I'm gonna give you lot a couple of moments rest to let you lot get prepared and whatnot for the 11:30 live stream. Like I said, 11:30 on YouTube. We'll focus on Martinelli, Arsenal Leeds. You know, we'll talk about Saliba and all of those sort of things. So yeah, make sure you're all there for that one, there, folks. But yeah, man, I'm gonna do exactly what I said and let you lot get out of here and prepare for that, people. So yeah, make sure you're following. It's been a fantastic opening hour and whatnot. Tomorrow I'll be live at 10 a.m. on Twitch at the same time. After this, well, we go over to 11:30 on YouTube. After that, people, I'm gonna be on Twitch at 4 p.m. where we'll be playing Football Manager 2022, or better yet, the beta. So yeah, make sure you join me for that. On that note, though, stay safe. Hope you've all had a good morning. Hope you all attack this week more aggressively and reach your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Yeah, make sure you're checking out the schedule, because that's where all the content, you're gonna find everything. Like I said, tomorrow 10 a.m. same time. I think on Wednesday, West Ham versus Arsenal on YouTube. Arsenal watch along tomorrow on YouTube, people, an hour before kickoff. Wednesday, West Ham versus Man City Cat Yarabal Cup. I'm going to be doing that on Twitch. And then as we move towards the weekend, you've got Spurs, Tottenham, and you've got, Spurs, Man United, sorry, and before that, Arsenal, Leicester. So there'll be some content and bits and pieces for you lot to see. So on that note, you lot stay blessed. See you shortly, Josh. Big up you as well, Ak. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'll see you lot in a piece, man. One love to everyone supporting the YouTube and the Twitch. I'm out.
So it's just always just that active and defending. I think it's like